All right, let's talk about modern dating. The swiping, the ghosting, those conversations that just fizzle out. You go on another date that leads nowhere, and you're left wondering, is a real, genuine connection even possible in this maze? But what if the issue isn't entirely out there? What if it's about how we're actually looking at things? Imagine an ancient philosophy, something born from the chaos of a collapsing empire, holding a key, not to changing her own, but to strengthening yourself and guiding you toward a more tranquil life. The turning point, discovering Stoicism. Picture this. A guy. He's frustrated, maybe a bit cynical, definitely tired of the whole scene. Then he stumbles upon the writings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. Stoicism. And it's not some cold, unfeeling philosophy. It's about deep resilience, virtue, and finding genuine inner peace. He began to see that the constant chase for fleeting validation, that quick hit of approval, was the real source of his own frustration. The Stoics taught him to shift his focus to what he could actually control: his own character, his judgments, his actions. And through that lens, relationships started to look very different, not just as a means to an end, but as a part of living a good, virtuous life. He figured out that for his own Stoic journey to a virtuous and calm life, there are 5 key qualities to look for. These aren't demands he's placing on women to boost his ego. Instead, they're about finding true compatibility for a shared path, one of mutual growth and serenity. If a potential partner consistently seems to undermine these, she might not be useless in some absolute sense. That's a harsh word, and we'll get to why it's in the title. But she might just be incompatible with his chosen way of living a well-lived life. The 5 qualities, main content. Quality 1, a commitment to shared virtue. First on his list, a real solid commitment to virtue, not just for herself, but as something you both pursue. Stoicism teaches that virtue, things like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, is the ultimate good. So, if a partner mainly chases superficial things like status, fleeting pleasures, or constant external validation, rather than focusing on character development, both hers and yours, it's bound to create friction for someone trying to live a Stoic life. It's really about both of you wanting to be better people, supporting each other's moral and intellectual journey. This shared direction, focusing on what truly matters, becomes the bedrock of a strong and meaningful connection. Quality 2, emotional resilience. Life's unpredictable, right? Challenges are pretty much guaranteed. Stoicism really emphasizes emotional resilience, that ability to face tough times with strength and grace, to know the difference between what happens to us and how we react to it. A partner who's constantly thrown off balance by external events or who struggles to manage her own emotional responses can unintentionally create a pretty turbulent home life. For the man seeking tranquility through Stoicism, a partner's capacity to stay composed, to see setbacks not as a personal failing but as a chance to grow, is a big deal for shared peace. This isn't about bottling up emotions, but about understanding and handling them with reason. Quality 3, radical acceptance. Amor fati. The Stoics had a term for this, amor fati, a love of fate. This means accepting things as they are, especially the things we can't control, without putting up a fight. It's not about being passive, it's about seeing reality clearly. A partner who's always wrestling with what can't be changed, who gets stuck in what ifs or it should have beens, makes it tough to cultivate that inner peace. For his Stoic path, a woman who can embrace the present moment, accept imperfections in herself, in him, in life itself, and focus on constructive responses rather than just complaining, is incredibly valuable. This kind of acceptance helps build a stable and supportive space. Quality 4, deep empathy and understanding. Stoicism often highlights how interconnected we are and the importance of treating others fairly and with understanding. Empathy, the ability to genuinely get and share how someone else is feeling, is vital. A partner who lacks empathy might find it hard to understand his commitment to Stoic principles. She might misunderstand his disciplined responses or why he focuses so much on his internal state. She just might not get the why behind what he does. This can create a gap, not a connection. From a Stoic viewpoint, a true connection needs mutual understanding and the ability to see things from the other person's side, which nurtures support rather than conflict. Quality 5, a focus on shared growth over superficial gains. Finally, our Stoic man realized he needed a partner who's more geared towards growth, meaning, and shared purpose than just racking up superficial wins, like wealth, status, or non-stop entertainment. Stoics see these external things as preferred indifference. Sure, they can be nice to have, but they're not the foundation of a good life or a good relationship. A relationship built mainly on self-interest or fleeting attractions? The Stoics would see that as pretty fragile. If her idea of a successful life is mostly measured by what she collects or experiences on a surface level, it's going to clash fundamentally with his search for inner virtue and lasting contentment. A compatible partner values the journey of becoming better, both as individuals and as a couple. The shift in perspective. Conclusion. So, these 5 qualities, they're not some rigid checklist for judging a woman's inherent worth. That provocative word useless in the title, it's there to get us thinking about a stark Stoic truth. For a man who's truly committed to a life of virtue, reason, and tranquility, certain ways of relating just aren't helpful for his path. It's about recognizing what's essential for him to keep his own inner peace, his inner citadel, intact. The focus always is on his self-mastery, his choices, and the kind of partnership that aligns with, rather than pulls him away from, his Stoic ideals. It's about understanding that true fulfillment really does come from within, and a partnership should ideally support, not sabotage, that journey of inner cultivation. If this Stoic take on relationships resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Which of these qualities do you think is most crucial for a peaceful and virtuous partnership? And hey, if you're interested in more insights on applying ancient wisdom to the wild ride of modern life, consider subscribing